So everybody is going to keep as quiet as they can. And if you think you might make a noise, mute yourself, please, because otherwise you'll interfere with everybody's recordings. So off we go.
Okay.
Donal.
When I was busy dying, my whole life didn't flash in front of me, but my poetry books flashed in front of me like that, and I managed to grab one out like this. And this is The Smell of Purple, which we launched in New Delhi, of all places, at a poetry festival. Um, I'd never read at a poetry festival before, and suddenly I got asked to go to one in France, and I did so, one in Ireland, and I did so, and one in India, and I did so. And after that, I never got asked again. So, so this is called Mr. Daddy Soft Soft, and Indian audiences bring everybody to it. All the little girls, their boys, even the dogs, the cats, they all come to the poetry reading. And they all particularly like this poem because this is appeal to everything. And one little Indian girl ran up and said, "That's me." So that was good to know. Mr. Daddy Soft Soft. Always her fascination with me shaving. This her early morning ritual, observing each action as if it were holy. I hide my face in foam. Santa Claus, she chants, winces with sheer delight as the razor goes over my bump without cutting it off. The shaving uncovers the me she knows. Soft, soft, Mr. Daddy Soft, soft, she gurgles in a lather of laughter. Me now, she pleads with me. I take the brush, coat her reflection with foam. I shave her with the tip of my little finger. Her reflection sniggers, and she sniggers too. Later in the early evening, she appears, bearded and fresh cream. She shaves herself with a lollipop stick. Me, daddy now, see? I cha her on the tips of my toes as she clings to my fingertips. The living room dances around us. One delighted half-shaved little girl, one delighted soft Mr. Daddy. Thank you. And this is called The Smell of Purple. One day my little one came into me and she just basically said this. She says she can smell yellow. She says she can smell blue, despite not being able to spell either colour. Yellow smells the same as blue, like a wet kitty drying by the fire. Red smells like mummy when she kisses. Her kisses smell different when she kisses you. Then she smells like flames with little orange tips. Purple is my favourite smell. It smells just like a magic spell. I kiss her goodnight like violet, only lighter, with little flecks of purple scattered here and there. And this is called I Feel Pretty. Tilly used to come into our bedroom and drop in at 3 o'clock on top of us. And she was a hefty little girl, so it hurt. So this is called I Feel Pretty. Oh, so pretty. I awake, covered in glorious glitter, smelling strongly of PVA glue, sticking to my cheek, very hung over, and covered in blue, orange, yellow, red feathers. A bubble recently blown perched upon my nose. I still half comatose. Tiny bubbles travel amongst my curls as through a bigger bubble brightly, nestling neatly over my right eye. I observe my little daughter purse her lips and kiss more bubbles into being. Till I force my lips, still frozen in sleep, to somehow speak what you do. See, even my syntax and sentence structuring is shot. She smiles sweetly. I'm pitying you. Thank you.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you, love. Thank you, Donal.
Have you got
So,
that?
oh,
For Tony.
I forgot to say Phil arrived too. Hello, Phil.
Lavelle.
And now we're going to start listening to everybody else, and
Yeah.
it's Tony.
What's it, Tony?
Tony Watts, please.
Oh, real poet. Oh, good.
Yeah, proper poet.
Yeah, it's a proper poet.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. Yeah, this is one I read a long time ago about a goldfish bowl. And as I was writing it, it sort of turned itself into a metaphor for the human condition or something. The goldfish bowl. Now here's a circle of hell the poet kept under his hat, hadn't the heart to tell. I mean this goldfish bowl I'm looking at, with its single inhabitant, a packet of amber where the light lay sealed, translucencies dissolving, thinning to water. This is the place the poets arrive at, one by one. For we shall not skip retribution, even though our fanciest fibs are as close to the truth as can ever be told. Not for him the solace of closed eyes, whose lids flaked off like scurf and floated away from the paper and pinwheel discs, that manic gleam unglossed to a dull ferocity reflects, hammered fat, the horror of being suspended in midst of the unseeable. The eye wheel clicks in its cavern, dryly. The brain balks. He makes a snap transition to the other side of the tank and sticks, stunned to a transfer. But this side, that side, it's all the same to him, and only the mute mouth goes on remembering the old game, umming at the glass, as though it still believed in a word on the tip of the tongue, though the tongue long since dissolved, when the teeth fell out, and there were no more words to tell what it was to have lived, to have died in a curved space. And the second and last one, very different. This is called Lark, Variations on a Theme. Introit. Phoenix-like, the lark breaks covert of death, bursting up through the poet's old hat, fellows my questing craft in a conspiracy of outflow, as though Shelley and the rest had never been. 1. Lark, a sputtering candle wick held to the sun's glare, releases the molten body of its song, spreading steadily out over the landscape, over the broad, dumb, beast-backed hills, the stone-wall-weighted meadows, cooling at last to an echo the sky reclaims. It is a song that never sets or stiffens into words. 2. The lark has got the jitters. God steps up the voltage as it climbs. At the final intolerable point of intersection, where pure joy converges with pure terror, the skylark teeters, hysterical, a threshold's breadth from infinity. 3. Lark, uncorked, unstoppable, on the steps of the sun's throne, garbles its plea. 4. Trembling, the lark threads with its tongue the eye of the needle. We cannot follow with our weight of bullion, though time and the world may seem to hang suspended in the ringing bell jar of the air. 5. Skylark, absconded angel, truant star, gate-crashing broad daylight, reeling off your tipsy liturgy like a tapered fast wind. What silent socket of night sky laments your fall into the world from which you climb and climb to replace what you cannot contain, the uncontrollable pulse of heaven? Envoy. Skylark, chivying the sun, scatters an incandescent pool. Lost to the eye, its piccolo heart is the measure of the sky's immensity. A poet whittled words to fill his quiver. He aimed at the lark's throat, but his arrows flew wide, wide. The sky engulfed him. The lark's song goes on. Thank you.
Wow, that was a good one. Very deep today. Well, always, of course. That was lovely. Thank you. So we're going to go on to Rosie. Rosie Barrett, please.
Hello there. Yeah, I've got typically two random poems that I can't fit into any pamphlet or collection. And actually, because I realised we got more than 2 minutes, I've got one that is the meeting of two worlds. But this one's for Donald. I wrote it a while ago. It's an ode to the potato. Oh, great and universal spud, potato, pomme de terre, aloo. Without you, where would we be, O culinary king? 400 years has Norway served small brown potatoes in their skins. In all that time, they have not changed. Present them plain, just boiled. In Fusion Britain, here we play with multitudinous ways and means. Add to fish, get chowder, skink. Foremost, a glorious, unctuous mash with freshly grated nutmeg cream. With meat, there's shepherd's pie or cheese for creamy tartiflette, plain roasty or potato cakes. History tells of famine when blight came to Ireland's staple diet, bacon, cabbage, bubble and squeak. And so back to the New World you went, with refugees, Kellys, Murphys, and O'Briens, McDonald's, and French fries. So that's that one. And this one's for the gardener that we have with us. She may not like it, I don't know. We'll see. The Battle of Bindweed Bank. Bright bindweed, finally, Columbine, you are back. Every year we battle. You twist up long stems of orange lilies, threaten to stifle, squeeze off their heads. Your love for their strength, palpable. Further along the path, you decorate the sheep netting, twine up the wire, insidious, cling like a wannabe on the red carpet. Pure white trumpets of such fragile beauty, bees and butterflies all love you, buzz and flutter round you. Could we see the good in you? Maybe you are the tart with the heart. Your roots bind the soil on hillsides, tap down to the damp, bring goodness up from the deep. Today, I find some bamboo stakes, untwine you from the lilies, give you new support, live and let live. And then there's this one. Okay, I haven't got a title for this yet. It's basically it's one that is the meeting of two worlds. Under the trees we planted for you 20 years ago, walnut, home oak, rowan, cherry for the birds. Grown now, they give shade to cattle, sheep, shelter deer. The small clearing with upended plastic chairs always dry. We can shut our eyes and know you are still with us. Open them and see the water where we scattered you. That's it.
It was lovely. Do you know I hate bindweed? I really
Thought you'd say that.
went along with that poem all the way until you started saying nice things about
Bloody
it.
gardeners.
My bindweed is very small flowers and pink, and it doesn't often get to flower it because it's
No.
killing my poet's rose.
Hmm.
You should look it up. It's an absolutely fantastic thing for ecoculture.
Well, it's not in dangers, believe me. Its roots are amazing.
No,
Sorry,
it brings
don't get me started on bindweed. Thank you very much.
All right, gardeners, please.
Man,
Particular poem. It's called For Magdalena, who was a Swiss German who lived in Lewes, which is where I live, and was an Alexander teacher. And at one point, we went to a poetry reading together in Brighton, and this is what happened. It's called For Magdalena. After the reading, with the usual rabble of mumbling poets and the obligatory drunk one, we idled in the light, waiting for a late train. So it must have been sometime in early summer. One of us, perhaps you, spied at the end of the platform a lone fox like a solitary commuter, but without briefcase, brolly or gloves, eyeing the drop and the black-mouthed tunnel. Later, you wrote a poem, deftly minimalist, delicately painted like a cameo brooch. We read it over strong coffee in your semi-wild back garden, foxgloves leaning in as if to listen. Now I imagine you at the station's end, half turning shyly for a last look at your life and those left behind, before sauntering into the dark unknown, your arm flared high, foxtail bright. Right. I've been a long-term fan of W.B. Yeats, which I'm sure Donna will be very happy with. Lots of other Irish poets. So I reread The Song of the Wandering Aengus a while back, and it inspired me to kind of write a sort of homage to the poem, really, or to Yeats or whatever it's called. And it was partly based on a friend of mine who kind of triggered the poem. It's called Glimmering Girl. I thought my eye caught a glimmer, a glint of silver or flecked gold stippled in the stream's rippling skin, while angling with my hazel wand by the banks of the gliding god. Beneath a rising moon's keen scythe, I dangled hooked berries to tempt trout or some other mythic fish. The stars were distant, a glitter of dust unfathomably old, of my kin. I'm a moth to them, wandering fiery-headed and doddering to the grave, though my mind's still lithe. But find I'm beguiled by the scent of apples, the hint of a wish. I am no Angus, not limber like a springing wind, nor so bold that I can turn kisses into a bird with the weave of a hand. She calls my name, my stiff body quivers and quickens, fired with life. I've roamed hollow hills, am emptied of all but her and her mist kiss. Okay, I don't know how much longer I've got. Have I got time for one more? Good. Okay, so this is slightly more modern, sort of referencing a lot of the things I was reading in the 60s and early 70s. It's called On the Road Again, and those of us who grew up in that time, it was de rigueur to read Jack Kerouac and Ginsberg and all the rest of it, really. On the road again, though not with canned heat and the bullfrog blues or Jack Kerouac in a beat-up car with those other beats, driving west to east, talking hip, Zen koans high on Buddha, booze, and birds bebop on the radio. No, I'm 6, steering air with my granddad, dapper with his rim of white hair, driving a Model T Ford with its leather seats that I can still smell, its double-dig clutch, black with running boards and a starting crank. I learned to drive late, failing my test twice, but started early on rock and roll, drugs, sex, in that order, enjoying all three on the back seat with what's her name now? Double clutched, driving hard and fast, no brakes. Now I'm 70, no white hairs, no grandkids, and the only pills I pop are prescribed, my chin doubling like a frog's, and since clocked at a speed younger than my age, I drive sedately up to, not past, the limit. I might start to get cranky, tend to clutch at straw memories, but still I can play Hendrix full blast with his foxy lady, while I clap one-handed, beatific, this rocky, rolling road, my metaphor. Have I run out of time now? Probably.
Yep.
Loved it, though. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for those. Ray Poole has been trying to get in, but I didn't let him in the middle of your poems because I was afraid he'd
Try and get him in now.
be having too much trouble. He's gone away again. But the next poet to read is Evanthe. She's here, isn't she? I saw her come.
Hello.
Are you muted?
There she is.
Lovely. So he's after you. So I hope if he tries to get in again, I might have to let him in. I'll try and wait. Thank you, Evanthe. Would you like to read for us?
Yes. First of all, I'm indebted to Chris Salt, who's here tonight, for having supported me to come out as a poet, because I've only really been doing it for the last 2 years properly, having recently retired as a psychotherapist. Anyway, 2 poems. The first one, every Sunday I visit the farmer's market across the road, At this time of year, there's a stall holder who displays a corn on the cob, and this is about him. Marketeer. Strip searched, desiccated cobs on show. He pulls a fresh one from the pile below. The cob is ripe. Brown tassels sprout and lace his fingers as they loose the carapace. He shucks it down, leaf by straightened leaf, wrenched from tip to base, lay bare a grief. Translucent now, the underlying leaves veil a cache of silky, silvery threads, release their tresses in his hand, and spread their strands, reveal the tiny fruits beneath in serried golden ranks, complete, pristine. His nail pricks for sap. The kernels yield, an image freshly stripped for you to buy, but if not wanted, can be left to dry. The second poem is about a friend who's been diagnosed with dementia, and he's particularly he finds a trial about the weather. It really bothers him. It's called Unhinged. Why is no one talking about it? We used to talk about it all the time. Look at that cloud. It's all wrong. The colour, like sand. From end to end, the weather hasn't been right since Christmas. Did I tell you I've lost weight? This blue string holds my trousers up. I feel better for being thin. She'll sort it out when she comes. I know how these things play out. You gradually lose it. I'm on strong drugs. Did I tell you? Right now, I'm here, like I've always been. She hasn't come home since Christmas. Why is no one talking about it? We used to talk about it all the time. It's never been like this before. Look at that cloud. I wish she'd come.
Oh, that is so sad. Thank you.
Thank you.
The second one about dementia is beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, have we got Ray Paul? I'm not sure we have. He should be next. I think he said dinner had been delivered.
No, that was somebody else.
Oh, okay. We'll go on to Chris Salt then. And when Ray comes, we'll fit him in. So, Chris, would you like to read for us, please?
Yeah, I will. It's really nice to be here. Hello, you guys. Welcome to my reading room. Anyway, anybody who knows me knows that in 2003, my younger son was mobilized for Iraq. He was a member of the Territorial Army, and so I can't help but identify with all those mums now whose sons are going off fighting in Ukraine or in Iraq, whichever side they're on. So I'm going to read 3 poems from sequence from a book called Mr. Kalashnikov Regrets, but this book's got bigger writing, so I'm reading from this. First one's called Seascape. A pair of squalling gannets scuffed the beach. The sun, a pale balloon, is out of reach, and the summer child who had it tight walks with his mother in the dimming light towards the safe sea walk. And beyond the long horizon, men massing with their guns, fathers, husbands, boyfriends, lovers, other mothers' sons. A turn-tail tide runs out and drops her shawl of froth and weed. A milk-eyed mackerel lost from a fisher's evening haul, lolls like a lazy bather in a pool under the safe sea wall. An open page of sand blurs to peach blue, scribbled with graffiti of the sandworm and the scatty hieroglyphs of feet of child and seabird on its fading sheet under the safe sea wall. And beyond the long horizon, men massing with their guns, fathers, husbands, boyfriends, lovers, other mothers' sons. I read in jetsam war's lunatic symbols, the shingles bone screed, sucking crab holes, burying the living, arms of trees, boat shard, sheep hull, carnage of savage seas under the safe sea wall. And beyond the long horizon, men are massing with their guns, fathers, husbands, boyfriends, lovers, fathers, husbands, boyfriends, lovers, fathers, husbands, boyfriends, lovers, and other mothers, sons. This one is called 7 Ages, and several poems I wrote in the third person because I couldn't actually read them in the first person when it was all happening. I'll try and translate them into the first person if I can remember. He comes in the morning with skin soft as rabbits, kicking against my palm with lickable, buttery toes. By lunch, he's a storming question mark of what is it and why's ad nauseam, full stops of heel digging nose. By afternoon, he's bombing the shed, bang, bang, you're dead, bullets flying, dad on the lawn, writhing in pantomime death throes. By tea, he's tearing away, badged with aftershave, 2 digits to the clock, a puppy man out in his gay dog clothes. By supper, he's counting the nonchalant minutes wired to the telephone, crunching pistachios. By evening, he's leaving, kit bag packed with his favourite mug, photos of girl and home, desert boots, flapjacks, a wind-up radio. By nightfall, I'm praying, down on my knees out of habit, for anyone out there to come. For anyone out there to come.
Oh,
And-
Chris. These are wonderful, but so sad.
Is there time for another one?
Mhm.
No,
Yes.
don't, please. I just had to say something. Sorry.
This one is called Missing because he disappeared. Bear in mind, he was a member of the Territorial Army, and Tony Blair called up the Territorials quite unexpectedly. And this, not great for a pacifist, have your son fighting in a foreign country, and he disappeared. I didn't know where he was. This one's called Missing. As soon as he could walk, he'd abseil down the cot side, pad in low-slung pyjamas down the corridor to hide. I'd hunt and call, alarmed at first, then it became a nightly ritual, a game with him unharmed, chuckling his guttural chuckle when I found him in his wicker toy basket, gone to ground with soldier, tank and rabbit, or holed up in his duvet, keeping cave with marmite baited breath, primed to waylay me with bombardments of delight. Now, I can't find him anywhere. My care unplugged, the aerial of my sixth sense of air is lost, gone AWOL from my mothering radar. I scan photographs, unpick the tabloid propaganda, multimedia rhetoric, fill at the news analysis for clues, pray for a sighting of him on a dusty road, his battery delivering aid, not fighting. I magnify the map, the names of foreign town and street are anagrams I can't unwrap. His camouflage, complete.
My goodness, that was a strong set.
They're incredibly powerful altogether. My God.
Yes. Lovely book. Tell us again the book, because some people might like to find that.
Well, it's in several. It's in my selected works, which is called Greedy for Mulberries, which was actually dedicated to Bernard Copps, because that was
yes.
And the other one is called the Mr. Kalashnikov.
Yes, I noted that one. Yes. And your son, what's happened to him? He obviously came home.
Oh gosh, yes, he's married with 2 kids.
Oh, thank goodness.
Good.
And having a lovely time jumping out of aeroplanes and
He sounds very adventurous.
yes, he is a tad. And skydiving. Anyway,
thank you.
He's fine, he's lovely, and he's home.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And we'll go on now, because Jamie can't be here. So we'll go on to Judith. Judith Wozniak, please.
Hi, follow that, eh? So in our village, strangely enough, when the tree surgeons come, all the women don't seem to be able to go out. They have to stay and watch them because they're quite easy on the eye, I think it would be fair to say. It's called Man Up. Here they come in their hard hats, ear defenders, leather knee pads, pull their gear from a caged lorry. The boss with his weathered face, rippling biceps, a tide mark where tan skin meets rolled up sleeves. They drink 3 teabag tea, thick with sugar, hoover up biscuits. Only the new lad stands back. They tease him when he asks for squash. His body is a temple, love. Dan clips on his harness, ready to be hoisted to the crown of the beach, disappears in a rustle of branches. Throw me smokes up, mate. I don't think so, mate. His chainsaw growls into action. On the ground, the boss kick-starts the wood chipper like the amp pedal in a rock gig, shouts over the grind. The tattooed boy is edgy, gaunt. At snap time, he eats lentil salad from Tupperware. He tells the men he spotted a nest in the next tree. Good lad, we'll leave that bit. So near us, we've got a naturist beach, which you will come across by surprise. Janice knows the area. It's in Hill Head. So sometimes it's quite useful being an older woman and invisible. Unseen. The sun draws them out, spatchcocked on the shingle beach, wearing only sun hats and shades. Tucked under the cliff overhang, they brave sniggers and the skitter of stones. Men, their soft parts splayed, couples curled like brackets, sand-dusted buttocks listening. Nobody notices an old woman pick her way, toes curled over pebbles slippery with seaweed, arms out as if balancing on a tightrope. A body silvered with scars, sinewy limbs, the colour of puckered bark, skin pleated over her knees, her back an upturned hull. Waist deep, held by the hammock of the waves, she swims out, slicing through a sun-gleamed sea, leaving chevron ripples in her wake. She clings to the buoy to catch her breath. Soon she'll scull back to her discarded clothes, before evening rays shimmer the Solent and they notice she is missing. Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, that's great. To be honest, I didn't know that Hill Head had a...
Yeah, that's what you say.
No, it's after my time it became, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wondered where you disappeared to.
Those tree surgeons, many years ago, I lived in a bigger house and there was a huge tree in the garden, which it was 1987, and the gale showed what was wrong with it. So we got the tree surgeons in, and I spent the entire day up in the spare room with my camera, and I did all these drawings. I built a sketchbook with them. They were fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing.
What, the guys or the drawings?
No, the drawings weren't that good, but
I bet they were.
you'd pass these men in the street and you wouldn't think twice about them. But doing that job, they were incredible.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Move on.
I've got the drawing somewhere.
Move on, nothing
Oh,
to see here.
right then.
Thank you.
God, when you and Judith get together.
No, well, it's a shame we've lost two people. Ray has found it too difficult to get back in, I think.
Still
And
got Phil Lauder, right?
we've still got Phil, and he's the last and certainly not the least reader.
He's worth 10 people at least. Oh.
Phil, you've been very good, waiting and waiting and waiting.
Oh, happy to. Yeah.
Hey, look, it's a
hear from you
quadrant of
now.
Phil.
On you go, Phil.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here again. I've got 3 poems for you tonight. This summer we were over in Ireland. We started on the west coast in Galway because there was an arts festival there we were going to. And I always feel slightly nervous about doing anything about Ireland with Donald sitting there, but we'll go for it. Now, we were there in the summer, so the weather was okay, which for Galway means that the rain is rather warmer than it is in winter. But you got a sense that of what it would be like in the winter. That's what prompted this one. Galway grips the jagged western edge where men, with all his tidy rectangles, confronts the lawless elements, crouches, hammered by the winter gales, cedes the outer shores to water's power. Jumper-wrapped men hunker down in low black granite pubs. Body heat and bodies sway to music's jangles, shout aloud and raise a glass to living and to life. However hard that storm may knock, it can't come in. Snuffles at the door, waits, howling till the witching hour, when midnight chimes must call the people home. Then wind will pounce, will trip and tease, as head down to veil-breaking blasts, step on stumbling step, they seek the feeble, flickering candle on the sill. And the wind laughs, kicks them all inside and waits, the sentinel. It was first here, before their world began and evermore, patrolling its domain with owner's arrogance. The second one actually links back in a way to Chris's first poem. About 10 days ago, it was the Ukraine's National Liberation Day, which prompted this. The sunflower seeds. Take the seeds, the old woman said. Her face as lined as the pitted tracks marked by the boots and the rumble and the roar. Take them, son of my son. Carry them with you wherever you're blown, and if you live, as I pray that you will, plant them wherever you find your feet, and know I'm there with you too. And if the beast takes you down, and the glorious fire of your youth is gone, then I will have the comfort of knowing, though my bones will forever ache at your loss, that wherever you are, our last gift together will flourish with summer. Color will come to the grey and the black, and maybe a child, hand in hand with his grandmamma, will marvel at their glorious height and stroke them, shouting with delight. And finally, actually, one that also links back to Judith's first poem, but with a slightly different view about tree fellows. We have a big sycamore in the back of the garden. Every 5 years, it needs a very serious haircut, and professional guys come in with varying success. This one is called Gary knows. Our tree needs trimming, a major task. So just be careful, that's all we ask. But Gary knows what he's doing. Now the terrace is strewn with branches and leaves. I try to explain about all of my peeves, but Gary says he knows what he's doing. Neighbours complain about the noise of the grinder, the shouting, the swearing. These guys need a minder. Does Gary know what he's doing? The ambulance came for 2 of the crew, sat on the wrong end of the branch and fell through. I don't think Gary knows what he's doing. The final straw, as if we need proof, a branch just came through the conservatory roof. Gary knows sod all.
Oh dear. Oh yes, there will.
And it didn't matter that Gary was a looker.
No.
No.
And notice how handsome he was, did you?
Certainly didn't work for me. No.
Did not for you, Phil. All right.
Oh, that was lovely. I'm
Oh,
sorry it
got
was
it.
so short, but I mean, quality is everything as far as we're concerned, and there was plenty of quality there. So thank you very, very much, everybody, for coming along. The next one of these is gone. We haven't even done an hour.
No.
Does anybody else want to read another poem? Everybody's too modest, look.
Mm.
Oh, well.
Chris does. Chris does.
Chris, good. Chris, give us another one.
Unmute her, lovey.
Unmute, yes.
Yeah, am I all right? I'll read one from the same sequence. Called I Am Not Angry. I am not angry with the sun. It can't be blamed for lighting up the tumbling stars of the magnolia and polishing the evergreens on this day of all days, when families in lorries, cars, and donkey carts flee from their frightened cities, her blistering sister on their backs. I am not angry with the spring. It does not mean to open like a box of paints, splashing japonica and daffodil down all the neighbouring gardens. On this day of all days, the Tigris rocked on her anchor from Baghdad to Nineveh, and the bomb-shocked sky blooming with deadlier flowers. I am not angry with the earth. It can't avoid rebirth, delivering greening march on sprung beds of last year's leaf mould on this day of all days, when suns fresh killed go home in body bags to lie forever under it, in Devon villages, Iraqi sands.